Sunday night, I'd watch the practice with none of my friends. I'd turn the dial to ABC to see the creep of the week that Bobby Donald defends. But I'm out to practice.
With your hosts, Keith Varney and Spooky for Halloween.
I don't think this airs well after Halloween, but it's Mike.
That's true.
Way back in high school, most every night, my mom watched QVC, so I missed the practice. There was no TiVo, what could I do? Wait 15 years, get fat, then stream it on Hulu. Out of practice.
It's Halloween for us, Thanksgiving for you. Both of them are gonna make me fatter.
Out of practice.
Candy, candy, candy. Corn. With cranberries.
Out of practice.
And welcome to the Out of Practice Podcast, a weekly podcast all about David E. Kelley's award-winning series. This week, we are up to Season 7, Episode 10, Silent Partners, and we are sponsored by Candy Corn because it's Halloween for us. No, we're not sponsored. We are fueled. One of us is fueled by Candy Corn, even though this is, like I said, it's probably going to be Thanksgiving by the time this episode comes out, but for us, it's still October 25th. We're in a time machine. It's this day in the basement, but for real for us. But we are fueled by more than just candy corn today. I can tell you, I am also fueled by pride, by the sense of accomplishment and achievement so big, so large, it can only be commemorated by a medal from our boss, CEO Jen, who has awarded us both medals of achievement for surviving the October 2001 podcast apocalypse while Mike goes out and does schmerzy schmoys online. Please take a look at our well-deserved awards here on the screen that CEO Jen has created for our achievement of recording 8 episodes in less than a week.
Yep, I can't believe I don't despise you. I don't, but I'm really. I didn't know Jen had done this. She put them on the desk. She made one for each of us. She fashioned them with printed paper, some Scotch tape, a shoestring, it appears, and a silver dollar inside. So it's kind of cool. It says,
and a
"I survived
tremendous amount
the
of love."
October 2021 Keith and Mike Entertainment Marathon Medal."
Yes. Well, I can say I hate you thoroughly at this point, but I'm really good at faking that I like people. You want to know why? Because I'm in the entertainment business.
That's true. KME, baby. Thanks, CEO Jen. That was really nice.
Yeah, honestly, that warmed my heart, warmed the cockles of my dark, dark heart when Mike texted it to me this morning. That was delightful. I can't wait to add it to my trophy case. It will hold a place of pride, along with my my Tubby Wobble 5K medals. So,
do you know what's fueling me today, Keith? Moderna.
Yes, it is. Why don't you tell them the tale?
Well, as of the airing of this episode, it's only been a few weeks, for us a few days, that they approved the booster for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, mix and match. So basically, if you have in Pennsylvania, if you have an occupational reason to get the booster, which I do, you can go and get it. Now, I hadn't planned on doing it because I didn't think the timing would work out, but I was able to get an appointment. I went and did it. I did that in my flu shot in alternate arms. Yo, let me tell you, though not as bad as my reaction to the first and second shot, I'm not at my peak right now. I'm freezing. I got the shivers. I thought I was over it, but I'm getting sort of a second dose of the shivies. But I will take it because I believe in science. The Moderna the vaccine has done me well. I have been exposed by some people that are very close to me that have had breakthrough cases, and I have been really, knock on wood, I have not gotten sick. I haven't even gotten a cold in almost 2 years now. So
yeah.
I'll take this day of a little bit of misery. Now, would it be better if I didn't have to like get on a plane and fly across the country, across the globe in like 2 days? Yeah, it would be better. I'd get more accomplished.
Literally across the globe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what? Whatever.
Well, look, we don't get a lot of awards, but today we have medals. We're number 236 in Portugal, and we are the most vaccinated podcast you're listening to today. I got my Pfizer booster last week. Very excited about it. That is, please, go get your shots, get your booster if you haven't already.
Listen, we can't beat Joe Rogan in the ratings, in money, or in a fight for that matter. But when it comes to a tag team match, us versus COVID and Joe Rogan versus COVID, I feel like we got a shot, Keith.
Yeah, no, we are definitely more vaccinated than that moron. Anyway, I know everybody loves Joe.
Wow, yeah.
Shots fired. Wait, where is it? Here,
it's been a while. Yeah.
Hold on, it's somewhere. Here we go. Keith is pompous.
It has an axe to grind against Joe Rogan.
I have no axe to grind against Joe Rogan whatsoever, except for his wishy-washy, weird vaccine stance. This is not a time to be wishy-washy and think that you're smarter than everyone else. I really played Joe as pompous. Get your vaccine. You don't know better. Period. Game over. All right. Shots fired already. It's we're at
something tells me Rogan won't respond, Keith. We're not getting a kickback from Rogie.
Wait, is it possible we're not going to trend on Twitter because of that comment? You don't think he's going to have to change the format of his next episode to respond to it?
Oh God, please don't let that happen.
Can you imagine? Well, if Joe Rogan wanted to respond directly, man to man, as opposed to flaming us on his podcast, which gets a tiny bit more downloads than we do, how would he do it, Mike?
Well, I mean, he'd probably reach out via outofpracticepodcast@gmail.com or dox us and have SWAT people coming into my apartment any minute. It's possible. Or he could, get a Facebook account and hit us up at Out of Practice Podcast, or Instagram for that matter. We got a lot of fun stuff. I'm sure he wants to see pics. Keep tagging us, keep contacting, and you can always speak with us via moderator Phoenix Cage on the YouTube comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, and smash that notification bell so that we can bother you incessantly with the bullshit we put on the internet.
And I can't wait to respond to your comments in a month when I have no idea
the context,
what you're referencing about either the show or what we say. So it will be fun. Well, we should probably continue forward before my co-host literally dies on air.
Nothing says comedian like slowly fucking dying on podcast.
Well, hey, we finally might actually get some traction online.
I was like, maybe I'll ask Keith if he can push till tomorrow. And I was like, hell no. No, I'm packing tomorrow. This is happening.
No, we are getting this done. We are too excited to talk about this episode
pumped.
of the practice.
Guys, I'm excited.
But before we do, we have to hop back into the time machine and talk about December 15th, the year 2002. And if you're keeping track at home, the next episode of the practice will not air until into January. So you have some wiggle room in the basement to talk about the entire rest of the holiday season in a segment we call
This Day in the Basement.
Oh, I hope I don't hard crash again. Okay, hey, everybody. It was the December month. It was my brother's birthday. We always talk about good old Nick, friend of the show. I think we called him on air once, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we?
I believe we did. And, he's going to be on our new show once we put it together.
So, speaking of our new show, one of the things I recall is that this was sort of the end of his reign as actually going full hog in the professional wrestling business. It was at this point where he sort of had to make a choice, right? And He, at this point, had held the WXW Cruiserweight Championship for like a year plus.
Really?
He ended up dropping the belt here around this time because he just couldn't keep up with some of the like what was gonna take to go to the next level. It wasn't sort of. He decided to like be a little more conservative with his life.
The travel schedule was brutal.
Yeah, especially as an indie guy. It's like it wasn't like he was getting tryouts for the big stuff yet. I mean, there was in a few. It's a kind of a shame because a few years down the road. A few of the like WWE would branch off and have a cruiserweight division, and there was some of his pals and his contemporaries actually moved up for a while, and there was a push into that side. But timing is timing, and he stopped around this time. So what I do remember is the holiday season was always nice because despite some service with our families, it was nice coming back from the city those first few years in New York and having. Sort of that, not chip on your shoulder, but that pride of sort of having survived New York so far and lots of stories to tell and feeling important and seeing family. This was nice for me because, it was the last couple of years we got to spend Christmas with my grandpa, my mom's dad. It was good. I have pleasant memories. I wish they were more specific because I, unlike you, do not have access to my emails until like 2004.
And you never archived them anywhere?
No, in fact, I think I went through a huge purge at one point and was like, I'm going to get rid of everything prior to whatever. There's clearly.
Why do I feel that was about a girl?
I think you're right. I'm pretty. In fact, I'm certain you're right. It's a regret I have, but ultimately, somebody's got them.
Somewhere in the world, when it is time to finish you off on the internet, those emails will emerge.
Cancel Mike they will come back, I'm sure. But it was great. The holidays, I wish I had not spent a Christmas in New York yet. I came home, I think, around Thanksgiving and stayed till New Year's. So, we'll come to learn the magic of New York Christmas, which is like a magical, magical thing, but not quite yet.
Yeah. Well, I was also up in Vermont with my family and doing lots of, Varney family type stuff, including some of the early incarnations of the IHL, which we called the Idiot Hockey League, out on our pond. And you can see me there in the red pinny and old sweater, showing off the full range of my skills. Occasional hockey abilities, and also occasionally just falling on my ass. So I feel like that really did represent the range of my abilities. And you can see this is the beginning of the Keith slimming process. I'm a little less chunky. The de-Keithification. Happily, I have recovered from my thinness. My mom yelled at me for fat shaming myself too much. I should stop doing it. But here I am.
Well, I've done so by removing you entirely from the picture here, apparently.
That's true. I'm just like shamed altogether. That's all right. So, so playing on the pond is always a huge part of our holiday seasons. And just tremendous fun. I mean, I love playing organized hockey in the rink and all that stuff. But sometimes just out on the pond in all of the chaos is just really special and really great. And
I cannot ice skate. I'm sure we've discussed that before, but I just am incapable of doing it.
Well, I'm sure if we ever got to a point where we could do it consistently, I could teach you how to do it. Like it's it's an odd learning curve, and it's similar to ping pong, which I know that you're good at, and I look forward to our first matchup in Varney Arena, i.e. my garage. But I feel like there's a learning curve to it where it's really difficult at the start because you're having a hard time holding yourself up and the balance, and you're falling, and it just feels precarious and it's exhausting just to sort of stay on your feet. Similarly with like hitting a ping pong ball, like you can't get the ball to go anywhere, and it's just annoying and exhausting because you're chasing the fucking ball all over the world. But there is a point in the learning curve where you start being able to do stuff by intent and without thinking about it. So just like the first time you realize, I can consistently hit the ball back and decide where I want to put it, there's this sense of like, you feel like you're flying a little bit. Like I can do this amazing thing. And with ice skating, it's very much the same. Like the minute you can do what you want to do and you're not thinking about what this foot does and what that foot does, it becomes exhilarating. And in a lot of ways, I feel more comfortable on skates than I do on my feet.
I will say that my family did me a disservice in that they were very safety conscious. Like, I think I mentioned on the podcast, it's a bizarre thing to say. I've never mowed a lawn. My dad would not let us. And so I just never have done it. We weren't really encouraged to ski or ice skate. They never took us. They never did any of that stuff because it was like too much. We could get hurt. And so skiing, I feel like, is in the same line as like ice skating. I'm not saying I'm not interested, snowboarding, skateboarding, things like that nature. But at some point you reach an age where you recognize that the discipline and the consistency that would be required, it's a time and risk evaluation, right? So I just don't know. I just don't know if I'll be. I like to go ski and go watch people play ice. I like winter sports, but I don't know that I will be participating.
Well, I think, and to be fair, let me just preface this by the fact that, how did you put it? Your family was safety conscious?
Yes. Yours was less so.
I think anybody who knows my family, we weren't angry at safety, but it was there was a little bit more of a you fall down, you just rub some dirt in it kind of an environment, which for the most part I actually completely agree with, and I'm grateful to have been allowed to take a few knocks and fall down a few times, and then you realize it's not that big of a deal. Within reason.
Yeah.
It should be, but I think skating you could do. See, when you move here to New Jersey, we can go skate on the reg.
I can skate as well as I can roller skate.
Roller
So I
skating
can
is
get
way
around.
worse.
I can get around the thing.
No, I'm like, actually rollerblading is death for me. I hate rollerblading. Because you have so much less control. It is way more unsafe because stopping is a completely different endeavor. So rollerblading, I'm dangerous. I hate rollerblading. It scares the crap out of me because I'm going to die. Ice skating, whatever. I'll show you. The last thing, we have to move on before Mike literally dies on air, which will be fun. But I will point out this last picture here is of course my good friend and cat with my college girlfriend. That's Toad. When he was staying with my parents. See, you think cats don't like the snow, but they do. They'll hop around in it for a while. And he is definitely blasting through the snow. Toad didn't care about anything. He was like, I don't care. Let's jump in the snow.
Keith, speaking of pets, do we have any announcements yet or not yet? We're not ready yet.
No, okay. We're not. We're not ready yet. But we're on a journey. Okay. No spoilers. We're on a journey, but we're not there yet. But can I tell you where we are? We're zooming out to the world.
It's time for the Out of Practice Podcast's This Day in the World. The greatest hits, the biggest movies, headlines from Vermont, essential sports updates, and for some inexplicable reason, the weather from 20 years ago. Now back to Keith and Mike.
Folks, we were continuing to be lost, losing ourselves with eminent fine work. Yeah, this cover is more serious. I like it.
Yeah. 98 views. Come on, man. This guy deserves
98
more.
views. Guys, this is way better than 98 views. Here you are, 99 right now. 99.
Do it.
And of course, I gave it away last week, but the cover of the Brilliant Free Press talked about the hospital's nuclear secrets. Still don't have that resolved. Still never looked it up. Something's exciting going on in the Vermont hospital. So there you go.
Keith,
so I have.
Do you know?
Yes, please.
Usually, we got to talk about the top movie in the country.
We do.
And I can't believe it, but in synergy with our other podcast, Star Trek Nemesis, burning up the wait a second. Wait, this just in. Mm-hmm. Star Trek Nemesis was the second grossing movie at the box office that week. Keith, what could possibly overtake Star Trek Nemesis with Picard, with Data, Brent Spiner, the bad guys, the
Tom
sci-fi.
Hardy. Tom Hardy.
What could
clone
possibly?
Of Picard.
Folks, the number one movie in the country, I spoiled it about 30 seconds ago when I put the picture up by accident. Made in Manhattan. You know Ralph Fiennes and Jennifer Lopez were like, sci-fi? How about a shitty rom-com? And that's what the top movie in the country was.
You know, Nemesis gets a lot of heat. It's sort of blamed for having destroyed the movie franchise of Star Trek. I don't think it's that bad. Yes, there are some pretty questionable moments in it, and it really could have used, you know, a more of a story. But it has one of the like most awesome battles ever in Star Trek movie history at the end of it. So it's got a lot there to like. I think it would have been better had they included the deleted scenes, because all of the character work and sort of fan service of, you know, just learning anything about these people as opposed to just pew pew. A lot of it ended up in the deleted scenes, which when reintegrated back into the movie feels more like a real movie as opposed to like a little video game. So there you go. There's my take on Nemesis, unprompted. Out of nowhere. There it is. It's always, I'm ready to go at all times. And you want to know what else I'm ready to go at all times with? Everyone's favorite segment.
It's time for sports ball.
In a game I remember fondly, the Giants wiped the Colts off the map 44-27 in the RCA Dome. Gary Collins completed 23 of 29 for 366 yards and 4 touchdowns, including 204 to Amani Toomer and 116 to Jeremy Shockey. Meanwhile, the Eagles stomped the pitiful Cowboys 23-7 despite a start from A.J. Feely at quarterback.
I really blew it here.
There is a lot happening on the screen. No wonder your computer blue screened right before we were going to
crash any minute now too. So let's go ahead and hit that button to the next thing.
I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
It's time to talk about the damn episode.
Okay. Yeah. Now, of course, I'm sitting here wondering, now how can I torture Mike in his sick oblivion? What is the way that I can find a really just poke on the weak spots, because I'm a dick.
I'm looking forward to watching some TV. It's all I want to do right now anyway. So this is actually could turn out nice if we could just get through the podcast part.
Well, while we're doing it, we are, of course, going to watch The Practice, Season 7, Episode 10, Silent Partners. And it is directed by Dennis Smith, who last directed Neighboring Species, and written not by David E. Kelley, but by Lucas Reiter, who last wrote Man and Superman. And it leaves us with only one sexy, sharp-jumping observation from Mr. Indeglio.
Sharp jumping?
Shark.
What is that supposed to mean? What's your problem? Is this what happens to women when you insert
Be
your
careful,
penis?
I look sharp.
What does Mike think's gonna happen?
You know, what if he would have drank the curdled milk? Then what would have happened?
What would have happened?
You know, Keith, if we ever get to the review channel, we're going to have to talk about this camera, because your previous camera never dropped frames like this one does.
This doesn't drop frames. I think it's probably the internet's. Am I dropping frames?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be.
Anyway, we can diagnose that another time. I don't think frame here or there is really bothering anybody. Listen, folks, Silent Partners, a couple of things. I had to watch the previously on, which was all about re-showing us Jamie Stringer's case from last week, where she defended the Fourth Amendment rights of automobilists in Greater Massachusetts. So she's probably in this episode, which is nice. And Silent Partners tells me, I think, that we are going to get two buddy cop cases, all right?
Ooh.
So I'm thinking we're going to go, speaking of sexy, we're going Lindsay and Jaime tag teaming a case, and it's sexy as hell, Keith, not because they're sexy women. No. Because they're competent, all right? Unfortunately, the case is not. It's a case about roadkill. As you see here, a beaver has been killed on the road, and some crazy shenanigans in what is supposed to be funny but turns out to be just weird of a case is in that case. That is the comic B case. In the A case, we get, since Bobby is on a challenging or a well-earned vacay, we get Jimmy and Eleanor in a charged case of a flip of the script, a murdered wife here. Our wife has been murdered, and we are defending a husband accused of killing her, even though we find out some super twist about how he couldn't have done it because a secret guest star shows up, and that guest star is, Keith, Jean Larroquette.
Wow. All right. So what would be the male equivalent of a Black Widow, you think?
Brown Recluse?
Also Spider. I was just going to go with white male.
Oh, yeah. Me? Wait, that's weird. Oh, why did I even say that?
Whoa.
Sorry, babe. Sorry, Jen.
She made you a medal. You
She
began
did.
your day with a medal of achievement of the lowest form of achievement, continuing to talk.
Keith, while she was doing the crafts last night, I didn't understand why she kept looking for like string and stuff. I was like, why do you need string? And she already had string. So it tells me, because your medal doesn't have string yet, it tells me that she wanted yours to be feature complete, even though God knows when we're going to get this to you. So
no, it's going to come. We're going to come and you're going to play some ping pong.
Great.
And we're gonna have some fun, some fall fun.
Actually, Keith, I was gonna ask on the 14th, driving back from Newark with Jen, and that's my birthday. So I don't know if you guys maybe were up for maybe like a meal or something, an order or something. We had to drive past your house, basically.
Oh yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, a little birthday action.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. You know what else we're gonna talk about, Keith?
What's that?
We're gonna talk about a little television show.
Oh.
Called The Practice, Silent Partners, and we're going to do it right here, right now, and then we're going to come back to my shivering ass on the YouTubes for the after show.
Yeah, we're going to be loud partners.
Stupid. And we are back, baby.
Back. We have watched The Practice, Season 7, Episode 10, Silent Partners. We were not silent. And here is proof of life for Mike Indeglio. He's not dead yet. Still going. In fact,
I got it.
He's continuing. He's going to give us a little flashback in a segment we call...
2, 3, 4. Mike has 30 seconds to remember what just happened on the show. Segment.
Hey, y'all. Lots of people about to be pissed because Lindsay takes on the case of a guy who clearly did it, and he did a lot of other stuff, too. With the twisted twist, he killed a person in the A case, but Lindsay ultimately gets him off because of the Fourth Amendment, but also back on the streets, where he will murder again. Not only that, she can't save her pals with the exculpatory evidence because Linda Hunt said don't do it. In the other case, innocent man goes to prison, even though, judging by that picture, was he so innocent?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for that. Now, can you do it just in fewer syllables?
To murderer day. Will the sick guy get away? Leave it to Beaver.
Okay. All right. Very
Is
good.
it a groundhog? Is it a groundhog?
I'm not going to tell you till the reveal.
All right.
But I will tell you what I will tell you. It is time for the world's greatest fake award show about The Practice that you and I do. That we're going to roll. There we go.
The Out of Practice podcast, in unofficial, unsolicited, unfactual association with David E. Kelly Productions, proudly present
Oopsie.
the Oopsies! Celebrating excellence in acting good, lawyering good, guesting good, and being Tom Brady. Not to mention, this is where we rate the episode and stuff. Now, here are your hosts, Keith and Mike. What the hell are the oopsies?
Well, Jackie, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to have Mike sing it for you. Yes,
Guys,
indeed.
If we've learned nothing from these past 7 seasons and the ups and downs and the emotional turmoil, it's that at the end of the day, Keith, for better or for most of the time worse, the defense attorney's first responsibility is to their client, is to provide them the best advice and defense possible. And in this case, despite having a very unruly client who wanted to basically offer himself up, she continued to advise him not to do that because she felt so strongly about the Fourth Amendment case. In doing that, she was making all kinds of ethical and probably emotional sacrifices because the end result would be this man, yet another, let's be polite and say unwell person with a debt of gratitude to pay Lindsay out onto the street with a clearly a habit of making people murdered. So, and then she was given an opportunity, a loophole, if you will, to then put him back in prison, perhaps, or put him under suspicion for another murder that would have also helped an innocent man go free. But she chose not to do that because, as Judge Hiller says, the confidence that privilege is the bedrock of her profession that she has spent so much time being a part of. So with a heavy heart, I think I award Lindsay Dole with the most valuable lawyer.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's regardless of the outcome, the first duty is to your client, and she got that done, and she argued it well. And, it's really good lawyering when an outcome that everybody is unhappy about is forced because of just the sheer logic of it, because of this. It's a good argument. It's just the sheer truth, and that's the way our system works sometimes. So, congratulations, Lindsay, the official serial killer get-offer of the practice.
As much as I actually like the plot line and I like the way it all planned out, I like this episode, it is kind of interesting that we're going on how many episodes now where we're seeing reality portrayed as cops not doing the right thing and getting called on it, which we both know is generally not the way it goes.
So are you saying that we're veering into science fiction at this point?
Yeah, a little propaganda, if you will. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, and I certainly have some thoughts.
Aren't we doing a new dance here?
Yes, we are. Everybody, get ready to do the Durst. Already famous cause you've been on TV, getting a paycheck, or the first entry on your IMDb. Way to go, but you're the best guest actor.
I murder her.
Guest actor.
I think I murdered her.
Best guest actor on the episode.
I murdered her. HBO.
Wow, that's going to be really good in the recap.
You know what sucks, Keith, aside from what we just did? Getting accused of a murder that you didn't commit.
Yeah.
And then basically having your wife get up there and say, yeah, he took a shower and that ain't like him, so he probably killed that girl.
Yeah.
That sucks. And in the Lindsay case, there was some, let's say, broad stroke acting. And even in this case, there was some broad stroke acting by by counsel. But the whole time, our defendant played it really straight, and that can be overlooked in an episode with some heightened reality. But I thought he was excellent. I thought he showed that struggle and that the pain of it, knowing, and you could see as we went along that he kind of knew where shit was headed, and that he was running out of options, and that's makes the ending quandary, as we mentioned, even more purposeful and powerful from a storytelling perspective. So I think that, can you help me with the gentleman's name?
Robin Thomas is who you're
Yes,
looking for.
because you're so smooth. Robin Thomas, my best guest actor.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think think Robin did a really good job in a role that's sort of tough because you have to be sort of unlikable because we as an audience are are supposed to believe that he did it, but at the same time give us enough credibility so that when we find out that he didn't, we're like, oh yeah, you know, it all tracks that he wouldn't do it. So he might have been a dirtbag, but he was a believable dirtbag, and we saw some good, like, genuine emotion out of Robin Thomas, who I thought did an excellent job in his third go round on the practice. So congratulations, Robin Thomas, on your third appearance and first best guest actor. Oopsie! Which means it is time to fire away with the...
You killed your podiatrist or blew the case, but you let a single tear run down your face. You're the best actor on the show.
So, I don't know how many of you just listened to this or if you go and watch the episodes. I don't know how, to be honest, we should have talked about the actual way we would expect people to consume the content, Keith, but we never did. So regardless, whether you watch or not, I highly suggest you go watch this one. It's a good episode, but more importantly, Kelly Williams, this is like a masterclass, what she does. You know, think about where they had her a few weeks, and then they've had her on this roller coaster of performances, and I'm not judging any of them. They've had her stakes all over the place. They've had her emotional acuity and starting point at various points. And here's an episode with so much subtext, so much emotional weight that to their credit, they just put out there. They don't overdo it. They don't have her monologuing. They don't have any of those scenes that we've become accustomed to like really point it out. And Kelly still tells that whole story. Crap, even listening to it, I'm sure you could pick up on a lot of it. And even that one Zoom where she's in the courtroom just awaiting the fate, it's so powerful. It's so well done. Kelly Williams is friggin' astounding. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously Kelly, and it's obviously her episode here. You know, and it's an interesting thing that we are mining material that has been strip mined, then they dug down before they got to the magma. They kept digging, they kept mined their way all the way to China and back. And she can find a way to still make it compelling because of her performance. Yeah, I mean, I have qualms about, like, again, but not about seeing her perform that again. So congratulations, Kelly Williams, with your best guest actor. Speaking of people I'm sick of watching repeat the same thing over and over again.
The Tom Brady Award for being Tom Brady.
You know, that saying that we've talked about on the show before, you live long enough to become the villain or become the hero, right? And Tom Brady has, like, come all the way around the block to be a good guy again. Huh?
What? No, he's not.
Dude, all the press he's getting today is after that 600th throw is how he went up to that kid who had the sign that was like, Tom Brady saved me from brain cancer. And instead of, like, celebrating his 600th thing, he went up to the kid, he shook his hand, he gave him a hat. Tom, I gotta say, Keith, he was a class act yesterday, and
he took back the ball from the fan, his 600th
and then
touchdown.
in his post game conference, he says that guy's gonna get something nice. So I suspect
not as nice as that ball. Is he going to pay for the ball? It's probably a $250,000 ball. Is he going to give him a $250,000? Going to give him, like, a T-shirt.
This week, there's a shark with Keith's face crying sharky tears as Tom Brady stands upon the Mount Everest of football.
Okay. A shark.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, all of them.
Keith is pompous.
Everything. Talk about a blue screen of death. I'm so sorry, fam.
Oh, you know what it is? Actually, the soundboard got an upgrade. And so now all the hotkeys are live, whether or not the soundboard is up top. So now I'm just trying to make notes. You know, I do little notes for the oopsies, this, that, the other thing as the show happens, and I can't do that anymore. So, I don't know. That'll be whatever that ends up being. Whatever I remember wins the Tom Brady for being a Tom Brady. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to announce how many spare tires this episode gets.
Well, look at that. An episode that was played it pretty straight, but also had
Ladies
like...
and gentlemen,
Damn
it is time to announce.
That also had a really well-earned twist, I thought. Well-earned. I liked it. The twist did not make me roll my eyes. Now, I'm going to let you enumerate the eye-rolliness of the Groundhog's Day reliving the same shit over and over again, which is what I assume the Easter egg is. We'll litigate that later. Because there was that, especially with Lindsay, it's like the same thing. And then to watch her, anybody else than Kelly Williams probably couldn't have sold it. Like to watch her make the same exact mistake she made before, and though it was her job, I get it. I get the question, but she's already let like serial killers out to kill her before, and this guy, that's like the balls to do that. I don't know if it's balls. I don't know if it's trauma. I don't know what it is, but like you know how Bobby got some time off? I feel like Lindsay should still be taking some time off. I think she's still got to be on vacay. In fact, her and Bobby should probably be off on an island together somewhere. And I think it's interesting, that question at the end. I'm curious, I wish I had time to have Googled it, whether that sort of loophole that Linda Hunt brought up, if that's real or if that's sort of a fictionalized thing to like add that dramatic beat. I'm curious. It seems interesting that only one state would have that loophole, but weirder things have happened, I'm sure. I thought the performances were across the board were pretty good, except some weird directorial choices with Discovery and with Eugene and Eleanor. Again, they're the two of the most competent lawyers on the show, and for them to like get with their pants caught down a couple times, be different if they were just taking it real easy because they thought they had a slam dunk. But no, I don't know. It just feels ill prepared. Yeah, I don't know. They feel ill prepared, and that doesn't ring true to me. The Jaime beat. Look, that shit happens, man. So I'm not even gonna rail. I think that judging from where we started with it to where it ends up, it's a little gross. It feels, once again, a little retrod, a familiar beat. But I think the way that this one ended, at least we were asking for a win, and this one feels a little bit like a moral win that we've been desperately needing a little bit. I'm sure there are some holes, but I don't call it satisfying, but thank God they didn't make her do the dumb thing. She did the dumb thing for a while, but that pressure is obvious and no stranger to the real world. So to have her have the nuts to kind of pony up and get out of the situation with the consequences on the table, I thought was a really cool beat, and I liked it. Overall, I really liked the episode. It's not an all-timer, but I think it's pretty solid. I'm going to go 7.95.
Yeah, I think, yeah, what do I feel about this episode? The Robin Thomas case was really just there as filler to set up the twist. Mm-hmm. There really wasn't anything. It really wasn't much to it. It was sort of, which giving it the amount of time and effort it did to have it really just be there in reference to something else felt a little weird. But it was perfectly well executed as a case, as a sort of like their bread and butter. Jaime's case, it wasn't a case. The thing that Jaime went through, I think that's a good. I'm glad. I mean, it's sort of uncomfortable and sad and frustrating to watch. But I think it's very common, and I'm glad that story is being told. I don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is, other than don't be a creeper. But you know what is Jaime to do in that situation? Jaime shouldn't be in that situation to begin with, period. So certainly you hope there would be something else she can do, some button she can press other than having to solve it herself. But that's telling a true story. That is, you know, like in an ideal world, there would be something she could do, but that's the world. That's what she had to deal with. And so I thought that was actually handled pretty well. Now, another serial killer that's fixated on Lindsay. I'm just leaving dead air there because I have nothing else to say on
his motivations. His motivations are sound, I guess.
I don't care about the character's motivation. The motivations, I don't even know what the fuck the character's motivations are. But what is the show's motivation? What are you doing? I have nothing else to say on yet another serial killer. Yet another serial killer putting Lindsay in uncomfortable situations. It makes no sense that she would take this case. Never in a million years. The sort of like heartstrings, oh, I worked with you before, whatever. Fuck that. She spent a summer in prison away from her toddler. She murdered a man in her own home. She sprayed her husband with the blood of the last serial killer she dealt with. Fuck heartstrings. That makes no sense that she would go within a million miles of this. So, yeah. So, I'm
Hashtag Keith is over it.
I'm stunned by the temerity that the show has to continue to bring back another serial. Enough! You're so much better than this. The first one was so much fun. Hinks, amazing. Great. But that should have been it. That's it. We're done, and because Hinks was already the second, mind you, because we had Vogelman first. Vogelman was ridiculous.
That was pretty bad.
Hinks was great. We're done. If you become Grey's Anatomy and you're like 22 seasons long, yeah, maybe you can have another one come back. But no, we're in season 7. No, like the cat scratching the sofa. I'm going to spray you with water. No more serial killers, especially dealing with Lindsay. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
Well, you better award the proper tires. You better back up what you're saying.
I am. Well, but here's the problem.
Oh, interesting. You need a ladder to get down from that soapbox?
No, please. The soapbox. I'm proud of my soapbox. The problem is, similar to Lindsay doing her job, right? She gets the serial killer off on the Fourth Amendment. It's a travesty, but that's the rules of the game. That's how it's set up. And the rules of our game are that we judge the episode by itself. We do not judge an episode in conjunction with other episodes. It is a standalone thing. So as a standalone episode, if I turned on my television and I'd never seen The Practice before, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of fun. What a cool twist. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm judging the storylines, plural, like we're shedding tires right and left. Like things are falling off, the car's on fire. But as a standalone episode, yeah, you know what? It was all right. So I'm gonna give it a 7.41.
Okay, well, there you go. That was a long way around the block to park in the same garage.
Look, we have rules here. We have integrity. We have nothing without our integrity, Mike.
Speaking of integrity, Keith, was I right? Is this?
You are right. That, of course, is a groundhog, a murderous serial killer groundhog, because it's Groundhog Day forever on The Practice.
Fair.
And they're all serial killers. All right, Mike. Before we finish this off, I would like to send an official send-off and thank you to Linda Hunt. This is her last episode.
Oh, geez, sorry, Linda.
So this is your last episode. It is also our last episode of the October Marathon. Woo! Oh my God, folks. You won't even notice that anything has changed because we're going to be back next week just like normal. But for Mike and I, we're getting 2-3 weeks off now?
Yeah, it looks
Holy shit. I don't even remember what's going to happen, but we will happily feedback. Thank you again to CEO Jen for our well-earned medal, I would say. If you would like to contact us, and hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about next episode, because we didn't do it all in 1 week, you can contact us at outofpracticepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on the Facebook and on the Instagram at Out of Practice Podcast. While you're there, you're already on the internet. Leave us an obituary on the memorial jury by leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. By all means, leave it in the format of an obituary. That would be fun. We would like to thank our founding sponsors, who we are eternally grateful to: Jorge Navoa, Cloud Lover 69, Leanne Wright, Jennifer Massanova, and Ari Coon.
Did you know you can get your name on that list? Bam. And you got weeks to do it now. All you have to do is click one of the links in our show notes to leave us a one-time contribution to say thanks. Think of it as a tip jar at a cabaret, or a sustaining monthly contribution like our founding sponsors, who have a screw loose, probably. Also, we have another show. Check out the KME Entertainment channel. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, smash that notification button. And this week, folks, I do not want you to shoot off laser sounds. Oh no, our bumper will do that for us. I want you to go out, get vaccinated. And if you've already done that, find somebody who hasn't and make the appointment for them.
And laser them.